Hello everyone, welcome back again. I'm faculty Emmanuel from CapacityBay.org and I'm your instructor for today's topic. So in the previous section we talked about CSS images, and in this section we're going to be talking about CSS texts and fonts, and without further ado, let's just dive right in. So I have my Visual Studio Code up and I have my index.html, style.css, which has my boilerplate template, a link to my CSS style. I linked it right here, and then I have a h1 and then a paragraph. So I created a style of CSS which is having image, alright, margin 0 rather, padding 0, and let's go ahead and style. So I'm going to run this live. Let's see, open with live server, and I have my hello world and welcome to CapacityBay. So let's go ahead and split our screen. Let me split my screen, and then I have this two ways so I could see the output. Now let's go ahead and style this. I'm going to style my h1 first. I could as well give it a color, and then let's give it a color of red, and then it changes. So I could actually manipulate my text to the way I want it to. I could make it underlined, so I can give it a text decoration. We call that text decoration property, and then I can give it dashed, or I could give it a text decoration of underline. Alright, now I could underline my text. So we have different properties for text decoration, which you can see with the IntelliSense from Visual Studio Code. We can see line through. Alright, we can slash it. So we had a way of doing this in HTML, which we used the HTML formatting, but we could do this definitely just with CSS. And let's go ahead and see more properties we have. And we have the double, we have the overlap, we have solid, alright, we have wavy, that's the wavy, alright, and basically that's for text decoration. We could actually give stuff a font weight of maybe 500, and then it could increase or decrease our font weight. You can see that. So 500 decrease our h1 font weight, and we could make it 700 to increase. Alright, and we could as well make it bold. They have the property, the value bold. We could make it thinner with maybe 100, and then it makes it thinner, right? So that's for font weight. We can tweak the values and then choose which works best for you. So I could as well give it a font size, change my font size, and I could give it a font size of maybe you can see some property, large, larger. Alright, so I make it a font size of larger or wherever. We could actually give it maybe 50 pixels to make it larger. We could make it smaller with maybe 20 pixel. We could actually use some other units like the rem and em. So I could say 4rem, okay, and I could also say 4em, definitely. So I could use different units. Now that's for the font size, and let's talk about the font family. Now we have different types of font family. So let me go ahead and open up my W3 School format here. So we have generic font families built in for CSS, and they have the serif. Alright, so you can see the fonts have small stroke, we have sans serif, we have monospace, cursive, and fantasy. Now under this generic font family, we have different font styles here. We have the Times New Roman, Georgia, Garamond. Under serif, under sans serif, we have Arial, Verdana, Helvetica, and the rest. Okay, so we have the cursive, we have this, we have fantasy, and this. So while applying it in CSS, we go ahead and let me take this off. We go ahead and write our font family, and then you can see Visual Studio Code gives us some IntelliSense here, which we could actually use. So I could actually use sans serif only. Okay, this simply means I want it to choose between any of the font style in the generic sans serif font. So but if I have a name, all right, if I have a name, I could as well change it. All right, so let's say I wanted to make use of Times New Roman. I could say Times New. You can see some IntelliSense. Now it gives me Times New Roman in quote. Why is it in quote? Because we're having spaces in between. So if you're having spaces in between your font name, all right, then you put them in a quote. Now we have this is a substitute font, so just in case it doesn't find this font, it goes to the substitute font, and then if it doesn't see this, it goes to this. So this is how we substitute font, just in case we don't find the font. Okay, so basically that's how we add fonts and styles to this. I have one other thing to say. We could actually use an external font family. Maybe you're looking for a font here that you don't see in CSS, and you really want to use that font for your web page, because I like the kind of fonts I use. So I love this font called Poppins. So go ahead and search for fonts. So let's go search for fonts on Google, and then I go to this first link which takes me to the Google fonts. Okay, so basically I have I could go ahead and search for the font I want. So this definitely okay. I can search for the font I want, which is Poppins. Alright, so this is the font I want, and if I go ahead and click it, it gives me different fonts. I need to maximize this so I can be able to select it. Okay, so you can see where they say select this style. This is to select the thickness, alright, to check the weight you want your font. So I'll go ahead and select all of it. Select all of it, because I don't know, I might use it. So let's go ahead and just keep it. There's no harm keeping it. So go ahead and select it. Now there are different ways of me linking this to my web page. You can see we have the embedded a font, copy this code into your head section of your HTML. So I could as well copy this code. You can see it's the link. I go ahead and copy this, and copy. I can go back to my, let me take this. I can go ahead and go back here, go to my index.html. Inside my head section, right, I go ahead and put this here. I put this link. All right, now I just added this link to my head section, and I am able to use this font. All right, this particular font on my web page. So if I scroll down here, you can see the CSS rules for specific families. So I can go ahead and just copy this CSS property, which takes the Poppins and then sans serif as a substitute font. I go ahead and switch it here, and then if I go to my web page, my hello world looks nice, right? And there's another way of also doing that. Instead of putting it inside my index.html, I could take this out. All right, maybe I don't want to mess with my index.html. Now there's another option here which says @import. All right, this, if I click here, I'm going to be selecting the @import, and then this tells me that you can put this inside your style tag, which simply means inside my CSS file or my style tag. So I can go ahead and copy this @import, because I'm using an external styling, so I don't need the style tag, right? And I go to my CSS. At the top of my CSS file, I'm just going to paste that. So I have this here, and I could as well use this. So it's going to render now to my web page. All right, so basically this is how we tweak CSS text, our HTML text and fonts, use it to beautify our text whenever we want to. All right, so basically that will be the end of this section Alright, if you have any questions, please drop them in the comment section below. Like, share and subscribe, and also don't forget to hit the bell notification icon to get notified whenever we drop a new video. Thank you, and see you in the next